Recording. It's doing stuff. Woohoo! Fucking born
Here
in
we go.
Scotland. Here we go. Hometown heroes.
Monday morning.
Here we go. There it is. I'm like a fucking hardcore band. Put my mic out to the crowd, but it's actually just my laptop playing the song.
Yo, what the fuck is up?
We are the worst band alive. Welcome to our show. Hello again. This is episode 14, I think. I'm going to say 14.
Yep.
Doesn't fucking matter if it's
14.
not, because I've said it now. Episode 14 of Dead End Friends podcast. I am a man who's strung out as fuck this morning, but we're doing well. My name is Craig Jemison, and with me, as fucking always,
It's Gary Gordon. A man who is living on the edge, feeling good, ready to cry come 2 o'clock. I can't wait.
the emotional attachment to a fucking ball is unbelievable. I mean, I am not a man. I am not a man, full stop.
Full stop.
I am not a person that cares much about football. It's not really my thing, you know that. It's not really something that I really partake in. But there is something about this tournament and this like whole build up that I'm like, why am I so fucking stoked? Why the fuck do I care?
The last time we saw Scotland in a competition like this was 23 years ago. That's why it is so built up. Like, I've got the fever, you know. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm actually so buzzing. I can't even help it. I've just been, like, obviously Shanna's English, and I've just been, like, giving her dirty looks all morning. I'm like, right. She's half Scottish, so, like, it's not been as dirty a look as, like, she could have got. Like,
Yeah.
thankfully there's a little bit of Scottish in her, which is good.
Right, okay. So she has the good part of her and then the bad part of her.
Yeah. Like, Friday's definitely going to be weird because I don't know who she's going to be supporting. Like,
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm
I
forgetting.
know.
See, I'm just not fucking keeping up at all. So we are in the same group as England, Croatia, and who's the other team?
Czech Republic, who we play
one that
today
we're playing
at 2
today.
p.m.
I have now moved you, so you're over here, and I'm really uncomfortable because I don't know how to fix it. So I will fix you in a minute because my laptop is here, but somehow you're over here.
Love that.
So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people that feel that way, where, like, there's, obviously I think most of my friends are English, if I'm being honest. I have, like, you. I have my friend I used to work with, Ralph, shout out. He's from down south. I've got Johnny. He's also from down south.
I'm not fucking English. What's that all about?
No, I'm saying
You lumping me in with those scumbags. Don't even start.
Sorry.
I'm not having that.
So I have so there's like you and Sam are probably my only friends. And then I have Ralph and Johnny, who are Southerners, and then there's Shanna, who is also a Southerner. But I mean, a lot of these people will feel like I've been up here for so long. I mean, like, you know for a fact that Johnny straight up does not want Scotland to win. Like, he's just like, England have to tank them like fuck. But then there will be other people that are like, I don't really know. I'm on the fence about them both.
I don't think there will be. I actually don't think there will be. It will be one or the other.
Yeah.
I think the only person I know that's going to be a little bit, like, indecisive is Shanna. And that's
Right.
it. Everyone else is going to, like, fucking 3 lions, all that shit. And I'll be like, right, you want your legs broken? Let's go.
It's not coming home at all. It might come to Scotland
No.
for a bit.
It's coming home. Here we go.
Coming home. Instead of coming home, it's coming home.
Have you not seen it? Have you not seen that? That's been the campaign.
No, not even a little. I'm so out of touch.
You've been living under a rock. This is insane.
I just listen to David Guetta and then do nothing else. Don't watch TV. Just sit and listen to Titanium all the time. I'm so behind. Like, I don't. You know what I'm like with sports, man? Like, I don't really care about them unless they're like predetermined. So I'll watch like the wrestling, which I don't even watch anymore either. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not a particularly sporty person. I watched some of the rugby when it was on because the rugby's fun because it is just big, sweaty, burly men kicking fuck out of each other. And I think that's the appeal for me, is watching guys who have already got really fucked up, gangly Thanos looking faces getting even more like gangly fucked up Thanos looking faces. It's great. I fucking love it.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think Euro fever has definitely swept over this nation, and I am honestly living for it. Everyone's been in such a good mood. Like, even in the barber shop, like, since Friday, we've been watching every game that's been on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's been so good. Like, everyone's just chatting about it. I've lost so much money gambling already. Like, it's fine. I haven't won one single bet.
A house. Why are you gambling your fucking money? What are you doing?
Because I've already bought the house, so I can now gamble. Also, I'm not gonna. It's literally £2.50, so it's fine. Like,
yeah. Oh, well, don't say here like I've lost so much fucking money. Like you're talking like you're gambling your fucking life away.
£2.50 on every game.
It all adds up. How many games have there been? Fucking 3. Dude, you not even left a
8.
fucking. Has there actually been 8? I straight up don't know what's going on.
7 games. Yeah, 7.
It's so fucking dumb. I actually don't know what has happened. I saw that there was a game. I was watching one of them yesterday with my father-in-law. Well, I mean, I say watching, it was just kind of on. And then I was looking at my phone like I usually do. And then there was obviously the fucking like terrifying moment. Was it yesterday, the day before, that you text me about, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was on Saturday.
That was scary as fuck.
Yeah, that was. So I wasn't watching the game. I was just getting updates from literally everyone. So we were sat in a pub, and I ended up like sticking it on just to see what was happening. And obviously, Christian Eriksen had like an actual heart attack. So
oh god.
Yeah, they said that he died as well for a couple of minutes. They brought him back. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But he's like back to not full health, but he's like recovering. You know.
Okay.
He's like spoken to the boys like from these hospital bed apparently, and he's like making jokes about being ready for the next game. And yeah. But this is the thing. No one knows what's caused it yet because, I mean, he's the same age as me.
Oh, really?
He was born 1992. Like he's just turned 29, and like he's an actual athlete. If anything, I'm the one that should be having the heart attack because look at me. You know, like he's an actual like professional. I have to look after my body person, and I'm just like getting on by. You know,
give me the hoagie.
Yeah, exactly. So it was terrifying. It was nice to see everyone kind of band together as well.
Yeah. It was like it was a very I'm not used to seeing, just because of where we are, you're not used to seeing football fans from other teams be supportive of players in an opposing team. So the fact that everybody who was watching the tournament, and even myself, like I haven't been watching the tournament, and even I was still like, holy shit, I fucking like hope that dude is okay. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so just seeing that I think that just shows you what you were saying there. Just like the proper like Euro fever has caught everyone, because
and as much as it's like a competition, and it's like as much as it's like a competition, no one everyone's going for the cup, you know, or going for the trophy, but really it's national pride that's at stake.
Yeah.
But everyone just wants to have fun because there's no real rivalries, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously, Friday, Scotland, England, like, that's the old enemy. Like, so there is, like, a rivalry there.
The Lions versus the Unicorns.
Yeah, exactly. But when it's, like, fucking Wales versus Switzerland, you know, like, what? Like there's no real like rivalry there at all.
Yeah.
Two teams playing against each other.
Right. Okay.
Which is nice.
I mean, yeah. It's. I think it is that sense of just. It's also, we need to think about the fact that there hasn't been anything happen for so long.
Yeah.
With the corona, so it's just like.
Well, yeah, like the competition that's on just now is Euro 2020.
Yeah, it's so confusing.
So it's last year's tournament being played today, this year, which does mean that next year is the World Cup. So we're going to have to do all of this all over again.
How the fuck, by the way, did that come so quick? I feel like the last World Cup was like a year ago.
Yeah.
And the next one is somehow next year. It feels like it wasn't even that long ago.
It's insane. Like, we remember watching the last World Cup again in the barber shop. Like,
Yeah.
Because we watched as many games as we could, just because it kind of creates conversation. We don't actually have to talk about it. It's quite nice. Like,
yeah. You
it's
can
like,
almost
we
just
all
have
just
it
go in
on.
as mindless. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was funny though. Like the same things happened already, and we'd be everyone would stop what they're doing, and we'd be watching the TV, like waiting for like someone to score like a free kick.
Yeah.
And then the build-up's taking so long, so we're like, do you know what? Fuck it, we'll go back to cutting hair.
Yeah.
We're like cut hair, and then we look back around, and somehow they're celebrating, and I'm like, how? You took so long. It's so dumb, but it's really good to have it on. It's nice. There's a nice buzz in the city just now as well. Obviously, Glasgow has the fan zone down the green. A lot of the games are being played here. It's cool. I really like it. I like having this kind of buzz in the city.
Yeah.
The last time I remember it was the European Championships, like the athletics, whenever that was, like a couple of years ago. And then before that, we had the Commonwealth in 2014 as well.
Yeah. I remember having that same buzz when the Commonwealth was on, because we stayed in Mount Florida at the time. So it was like everybody was getting off at that station to go to like Hampden or go to, or if they were getting like a bus or some shit and they were having to go to, what's it called? The big one, the other one that they built specifically for the fucking Commonwealth. That was
the Emirates, just up the road.
That one, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the words I'm looking for. I don't fucking know things. I don't know anything. I don't know why I have a podcast, because I don't know fucking anything. I just talk. I'm like, I don't know the things that I'm trying to say, but they're there in my head somewhere. Yeah, so the last time I felt that buzz was for sure like that Commonwealth. I mean, it was a nice buzz when you weren't caught in a fucking train with them. I don't know how many times I had a fight with the fucking motherfuckers. I mean, they were just doing their job, but it started really pissing me off. Like when I would come home from work and I had to get the train and I'd get off and start walking, and they were like, they had to like herd them like cattle where they had to go, so they weren't blocking everything else. Do you know what I mean? But because I lived the other way from where they were all getting sent, all the wee stewards always gave me a hard time for going up like another set of stairs. I was just like, I fucking live here. I live here.
Yeah, I'm trying to just do stuff, please.
This is my life that you're in the way of. Like, please exit and let me go. I was like, I'm gonna have to start wearing like a fucking laminate that just screams, I live here. Like, do not bother. Like, you know how you see those dogs that have like the high vis that's just like nervous? I would need to get one of those and just like, I live here, do not touch, so I can actually fucking get home.
Lost.
Oh, that bugged me. But apart from that, it was nice. So having that kind of buzz in the city again, you're right, it is really cool. Like, even just round our area, it's dead busy because obviously all the pubs have reopened.
Yeah,
and it's been lovely weather for the past couple of weeks, so everybody's been sitting outside and everybody's just merry. Before it was like you found the football fans and you found the pub drinkers, and they were like fighting and shit, and they were always causing arguments. But now it's just like, the summer's here, we're allowed to drink outside. There's definitely very relaxed rules on outdoor drinking just now. I don't know if that's been a choice or if they've just been like, you know what, it's been shite, batter in.
Yeah, let people have this, you know.
Exactly. So it has been a really nice atmosphere in Glasgow for a while, and hopefully that'll continue with the Euros as well. We can have a nice city for a bit before it goes back to fucking chaos eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to happen, but no, I'm kind of hopeful that it kind of mellows us all out. You know, like the next 3 weeks is just like intense, and then everyone's like, right, okay, let's chill for a bit.
Yeah,
it'd be nice.
We'll see. But yeah, I'll probably end up actually watching some. It's probably the only time I really watch sports is when stuff like this is on. Like, I watched a lot of the World Cup, and I do try and keep up with the Euros when they're on. I say that,
and even just for like not being
7 games, I'm not watching any.
But at the same time, you're only watching it so you're not left out of the conversation, you know, like, because that's what
it is.
It does take over. Like, in like the Barbaras, like I don't really care much for UFC. It's too real. Yeah, those boys are actually
This is coming from the guy that the last episode talked about how much he fucking loved watching people fight.
No, I like the spontaneity of a street fight. I don't like actual fucking... I don't know. I've grown up watching professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Which, I'm like, when they hit each other, I'm like, He knows how to take that punch. He knows how to make it look good. But
Yeah.
when some guy's just getting like punched in the dome and like
Yes.
his head bursts open, I'm like, wow, that's intense. That's really scary. That scares me because like that doesn't happen out in the street. Like out in the street,
Yeah.
you're getting like a couple of guys like 50% of all punches thrown have been missed.
Yeah,
You know?
that you are fucking. I hate to say it, but you're punching at that number because it is much bigger than that.
Oh yeah,
You're talking
for sure.
like 20% land. The other 80 are in another
Gone.
city at this point.
Yeah, but this is like, yeah, like so even when like UFC is on and like Richie, who I work with, fucking loves it. He is like
Right.
a big Conor McGregor fanboy, and he's very open about that. I know he
Okay.
loves him. It's weird. It's weird.
Fair enough.
But if there's like a big fight on, I'll watch some like not. If a clip comes up on like Facebook, I'll sit and I'll watch that clip for 5 minutes, and I'll maybe like learn a little bit about a certain fighter, so I can be like,
Right.
oh, aye, because this guy's gonna do this. Oh, but he can't do this, but this other guy can do this. And I'm like, having to like talk a good game. I basically say nothing. It's like that episode of the IT crowd, where they're like,
Yeah.
did you see the game? The big game. Like that's me. When it comes to like UFC, 'cause I know
Yeah.
nothing.
I
Like there was that boy who was like fighting at the weekend who did a photo shoot, but he had like his shorts on back to front, like for the photo shoot.
I never saw that.
Don't know the ins and outs. Just know he was wearing his shorts the wrong way.
Oh, amazing.
And like obviously people were like laughing at that like over the last like couple of days. So
Yeah.
it's been good. I think he got beat at the weekend too. I don't know. I'll probably find out on Wednesday.
It was
when
just.
I'm going to
I mean,
work.
it was yesterday. Was the last fight? It was on last night. So. I used to watch it quite a lot. UFC. I used to watch it.
Yeah.
Like I used to kind of keep up to date every week. I don't really know what it was. I just kind of dropped off because like a lot of my fighters were getting like injured, or a lot of my favorite fighters were getting either injured or like getting too old to fight anymore. So just
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of the kind of new people that come in. Do you want to know what it is? Like you're saying there, like Rich is a big Conor McGregor fan. I can respect what Conor McGregor did for the UFC and what he
Yeah, of
did for
course.
mixed martial arts because he made it a proper like household name. Like
Yeah, because he
Dana
was a
White-
mouthpiece, you know?
Exactly.
Like he like not bummed it up, but bummed himself up.
Yeah,
Basically like talking shit, people like, wait, who's this guy? And then like they read in about
Yeah.
him and they're like, okay.
and what that did was like Dana White owes his entire company to Conor McGregor in my opinion. Like it was all just on Conor McGregor to like build it. But what Conor McGregor did was I don't think he meant to do this, but what has been born out of his persona and what he did is you have like this whole new breed of fighters coming in who all try to emulate him, but they're
Yeah.
all just fucking dickheads. Like Conor McGregor could do it because he could back it up and he was like funny enough to get away with it and he was charismatic enough to get away with it. But then you have these fucking assholes come in and try and emulate it, but then they're shit in the ring, they're awful on the mic, they're cringy as fuck.
Yeah.
And it turned into like a circus. It turned into a proper circus where you were watching these guys try and do the same kind of thing because they wanted the big money fights. But then you watch the fight and you're like, this is fucking awful. Like, I can't. So I lost a part of like my enjoyment out of it because it was like a lot of time you do get when you watch the fighters that actually respect each other, but they're willing to almost kill each other. That's the fights that I'll buy into. Like I love watching Israel
Yeah.
Adesanya fight. I can never remember what his fucking. He's got like a nickname that people know him by, but Israel Adesanya. He was actually fighting last night. He respects the shit out of every single person that steps up to him. Respects the fuck out of him.
He was
because
he fought the guy with the backward shorts.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I never knew
He
that.
did also not respect that guy in the ring. I
Oh, for
saw
real?
bits of that fight. Yeah, he was like spanking him and stuff and like pretending to be hurt, and I was like, what?
Oh, I really fucking like watching him fight. He's so entertaining. He's so fucking good at what he does. He has like the longest, gangliest arms I've ever seen. I mean, I say that, but then I don't fucking watch it anymore because, like I said, most of the guys that I liked have stopped fighting. or
Yeah.
got really shit, or turned into a fucking asshole because they tried to emulate Conor McGregor.
Yep.
So UFC's it's kind of
But
dropped
like
off
the whole
for me a
like
little bit.
the whole like mouthpiece thing, like you were saying, like, oh, some of these guys that aren't good on the mic. Do you think they have to be? Because WWE, that's obviously a massive part of it.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's all about like cutting promos and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like a pure combat sport,
Mm-hmm.
where these boys are supposed to be, you know, out and out fighters and nothing else, like they are professional fighters, they're not professional entertainers.
Yeah.
Do you think they have to be good on the mic?
Absolutely not. No. Like, but that's the problem, is they want to be.
They all try to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where the problem
Because
is.
that boy,
Just like,
is it Kobe Covington? Is that his name? And like basically he was like not doing very much, and then he got like a writer who
Mhm.
basically wrote him this whole like Trump loving MAGA hat wearing like character.
Yep.
And he like started like gaining a little bit of attention because of that, right?
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, it was
But
like
it's literally a full on character. It's not like he is a big Trump supporter or whatever.
I mean, he probably is, just based on.
I mean, he probably is. Let's face it.
He probably just met the writer and was like, "This is who I am," and he just went, "Right, let's take that part and make it bigger." That's probably all
Ramp
that
it up,
happened, to be
yeah.
honest. Yeah, I mean, they did take, but it's because there has been a bit of a overlap between UFC and WWE. So
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey showing up in WWE, Cain Velasquez showed up in WWE, Travis Brown showed up in WWE to support Ronda Rousey. There has been that kind of like overlap between the two. So I think that, I don't know if it's been a choice by UFC to try and do stuff like that to make it a bit more entertaining, but it's taken them away from the core not responsibilities, but the core driving force that make people want to watch it, is like, have the best fighters fight each other. Don't put
it
a
feels
guy
hokey, you know?
Yeah, don't put a guy that has fucking lost far too many fights, has never been particularly successful, against a guy who is one of the best fighters with like a fucking no loss record, just because the shit guy has a bit of notoriety on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
there needs to, the core fucking function of mixed martial arts places is letting the best guys fight each other, but not even because these two guys are the best, because these two guys will have a good fucking fight because of their styles. They might be completely different, they might be quite similar. Like, you have like, oh, the guy that I used to fucking love this guy, but he doesn't really fight as much anymore. Donald Cerrone, the cowboy. He is one of the most entertaining fighters in my opinion, because he's so fucking long. Like, he just has a really long ass body.
Is he not fighting Conor McGregor in July?
He has already fought him before, but he might be again. You might be right.
No, I think it's like the trilogy thing. Like, so he like fight. Maybe, I don't know. I could be talking absolute trash.
This
here,
is just
but,
you like finding out one or two things, and then I'll have a
Yeah, I
look.
seen a headline.
He has fought him in the past, but he's so entertaining to watch because he just uses his big ass legs to like tie people up and shit, and it's I find him really, really fun to watch, and that's
It's
how
Dustin
I find-
Poirier again.
Oh shit, I like that guy.
Yeah, sorry.
He actually did a hot once, Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but
He's pretty. It's pretty.
I saw that he did.
It is good actually. He's quite an entertaining guy, and he seems dead like fucking down to earth as well, which is really cool. But yeah, I always kind of toy with the idea of going back and watching UFC a bit more, but and then I try and do it, and then just like one person.
And then you gotta stay up
one
till like
person-
4 a.m.
One person pisses me off, and I'm just like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Don't want to watch it.
Yeah, fuck this track.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I definitely get that. It's an ego-driven sport,
Yeah.
you know. And a lot of the people who enjoy it often think they can do it. Sorry, Richie, that's definitely you. So sorry for calling you out like this, but it is 100% true. We should have a fight, me and you.
Think so?
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe that could be
It'd be good
the
fun.
first video episode that we ever do. It's just the two of us
Me and you in a ring.
wrestling the shit out of each other.
Let's face it. You would literally just put your hand on my forehead and like hold me back, and I'd be like swinging wildly, just missing everything.
Did an episode of fucking Dexter's Laboratory, man. I mean, we all know you would win. I have been in like one or two fights in my entire life, and I don't know what I'm doing.
I'd go straight for the legs, man. I'll tackle you. Like, I'll take you down.
I think that's the thing. Like, you have a very low center of gravity, so it'd be really difficult to like topple you over. I think.
Exactly. I'm like
See,
a
even
weeble.
if we were just going like straight wrestling.
Yeah,
'Cause
maybe.
you're pretty,
I don't know.
I
don't know enough about it.
You would actually probably be.
I
you
don't
would
know
probably
enough
be
about
a
it.
great fucking wrestler. Like actual wrestling, not WWE. Like actual wrestling. I think you would because
Yeah.
you have a strong base, and it would be I think it would be very difficult to topple you over. And that comes in handy, man.
But the issue is my height. My issue is my height.
It's not that.
As much as I've got a
not an
low
issue.
center. Well, when I played American football, I was the center, and for most of my American football career, I played flag football, so like non-contact, so there's no tackling or anything. But then I did a couple of tryouts for for contact teams, Paisley Panthers. So they just like instantly put me over to the same position because that's a position I know how to play, center. So you in contact, you feed the ball through your legs to the quarterback, and then you do what's called the nose tackle, which is basically they put their biggest guy in front of you and they have to like push at each other, like so, because he's trying to get to the quarterback to sack him. But the guys that are like typically the nose tackle are big boys, like real tall, real wide, like just. And I was just like,
blanket.
Yeah, I was like, what's the point? Why am I up against this guy? Like, he's just gonna push me over no matter what. Like, that's where it would go wrong. Like, as much as you're saying I've got like a low center of gravity and I'd be hard to topple over, if someone was real big, I'd be like, oh god. Like, there's nothing I could do. I would just be like thrown around an empty tracking.
Yeah, I suppose. I think I'm just kind of talking out my ass, just trying to big you up because of how much I'm infatuated by you.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, I straight up could not be in a fight if I tried. I'd fucking try and run as quick as I could to not be involved in the fight because I don't know what I'm doing. I'd be like those fucking like World Star videos you see where it's just like the limbs are just getting fucking tossed. Like I'm like obviously like I'm in a fucking what is it, the discus? Like that fucking weird Olympic sport. That would be me try to fucking punch somebody just like try to fucking get them. Oh man, terrible fucking fighter. It never happened. Thankfully, it didn't happen much when I was a kid. I think I'm just good at kind of either running or
talking your way
saying
out of
something that. Yeah. I think I'm good at talking my way out of a lot of things if I'm being honest. Like, I mean, a good one I managed to... Well, I didn't talk my way out of, but, like, I managed to not get in as much trouble as I should have. I don't know if you know this, actually. When I was a kid, when I was a young boy, maybe about 15 or 16, or much earlier than that as well, I used to be, like, a proper wee thief. Like, I used to steal shit all the time.
That's
like,
amazing.
A problem how much I stole.
Craig the KLEPTO, I love it.
Yeah, 100%. It was really bad. I think the earliest one I can remember, the earliest heist that I can remember, was I was staying at my grandparents' house in the summer. And my grandparents' house was really weird. They had like a front room. There was like a living room, but it was like if the Queen was coming over, so nobody was allowed to really use that living room.
Right.
And then they had another room that was like their sitting room that was next to the kitchen. And that's where everybody went. So if we went to visit them, we sat in the sitting room. We never sat in the living room. So we're sitting in the sitting room. My parents were there. We're all chatting some shit. And then my granddad's like, you can go in the living room and watch the TV if you want. Because you're obviously bored sitting in here listening to us probably talk about football or the Euros that are on. I don't know anything about it. So I went into the living room. I'm in there on my Todd. Don't know where my brother is. He probably stayed home and played FIFA. So it was just me watching the TV. And in this living room, they had like an electric fireplace in the middle of the living room. Not in the middle of the living room, but on the wall. And
like a fire pit in the middle of the room.
Now we all know what happened to my grandparents' house. It fucking burned down. So they had this fireplace in the living room. And this was around the time that the first Harry Potter film had come out in cinema. And I think, like, I was quite a big Harry Potter kid. Like, I loved it. I wanted to be Harry Potter. I fucking had the specs and the bad haircut to emulate it. I loved the books as well. I read the books when I was younger. So this film had come out, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And in the film, you see the Philosopher's Stone. And it's just like this kind of like shiny red rock that's kind of, it's just been rubbed off the concrete for a bit to make it look all like old and shit. So in this living room, they had a fireplace that had similar looking rocks in the fireplace. So me and my fucking weird brain that I had at the time pocketed one of these rocks and took it home with me. And then I remember taking it to school the next day or the day after, whenever the fuck I went back to school. And on the way to school, I was like scraping it along the ground. So I could make it look more and more like the Philosopher's Stone. And I remember going into school.
Such a fucking dork. That's unreal.
And I can remember going into school and like showing my friends like, oh, I've got the Philosopher's Stone. Hi, 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 hi. And I just remember one of my mates was just like, you stole that out of a fireplace, didn't you? Like, immediately fucking knew where it came from. He obviously had the exact same fucking fireplace in his house or at his grandparents' house. So I was just cutting him out with this fucking rock. It just
rumbled instantly.
Immediately, just like, no, you fucking stole that, didn't you? So it was just like, it lived in a drawer for
like,
God knows.
Bro, look at this.
This will bring back my parents, even though they're not dead. Here we go. I think that was like that. I think that might have been like the beginning of the thieving bastard that was my childhood.
I love it.
I stole a lot of shit. Like I used to steal from the local shop all the time.
Just a wee curly whirly every now and then.
No, it was like 2 bombs of Strongbow. I was putting like a 2-liter bottle of Strongbow like in my jacket and just like walking out and then go to the park.
Dynamite. That's insane.
I used to steal stuff all the time. Like my parents obviously find out I was like stealing money from like family members and stuff. This is all kind of out in the open. This isn't like breaking news and it's going to shock my family or anything. This is all like
shocking me. It's breaking news to me.
Yeah. So yeah, I stole money from my parents. I stole money from my grandparents. It wasn't like pure huge amounts of money. It was like £10 here, £20 there. I was just a greedy wee bastard when I was wee, proper greedy wee shit. So I was like, oh, my mates are going into town. I want more money to go and buy nothing. Do you know what I mean? Just to like have it almost. Yeah. So yeah, I was like stealing money and stealing random artifacts out of my grandparents' house, like a Philosopher's Stone, and eventually it all kind of built up to eventually I was caught by the police stealing from a shopping centre. I probably shouldn't say what one in case they like hear this and ban me. Because this was like, I think I must have only been about 16 because I don't think it was never really recorded or anything. I was never like charged with shit. So I was like fucking stupid kid, stole like fucking t-shirts and like bullshit stuff that meant nothing. Do you know what I mean? Just like thought I was fucking mental, like stuffing a fucking Super Mario t-shirt into a bag. Do you know what I mean?
That's
like
so funny.
It wasn't anything.
Oh my god!
And then I get caught. I get caught in the CCTV, and the police came up and were like, "Yo, come with us." So I get taken into like the shopping centre's fucking security office, and they phone my dad, and and like I am shit scared of my dad at times, like fucking terrified of him especially when I was younger. And I just remember he turned up to the shopping centre in like a suit because he had been at like a business meeting.
Oh my god.
So this dude in his fucking 40s or whatever he was at the time shows up in a fucking suit, dressed to the nines to pick up his fucking 16-year-old boy that'd been stealing out of a fucking bullshit shop in the centre. I couldn't even look at him. Like, I couldn't even look at him when he walked in. And he obviously fucking took me home, didn't say a fucking word to me because he was so fucking raging. Phoned my mum, told my mum. I feel like they still haven't spoken to me properly since then because I was such a disappointment. They just kind of like small talk with me still. But
that's so
but
good.
what came out of that was I actually ended up having a social worker because they thought that my stealing would get worse. And obviously, like, you know what runs through the mind of parents? It will run through my mind if my kids come home and have done anything bad. They're like...
Yeah, you go worst case scenario all the time.
Yeah, immediately. They're like, this will lead you down the wrong path, and it'll lead to drugs, and it'll lead to prison, and it'll lead to you dying. Like, going down that route, and I was like, right, I'm only 16, man. I stole a t-shirt. Like, chill. So I ended up getting a...
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I ended up getting a social worker that used to come to the house, and we went through, like, these fucking... exercises and shit. Just like, I think he was like a fucking therapist, see what was going on in my brain. I don't think we ever found out what was really going on in my brain. I just liked stealing shit because it was fun.
Yeah, you were just bored.
Exactly, I was just a bored kid. But it actually ended up putting me onto like his solution to it was, I think he just couldn't be arsed with me anymore. So he was like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sign you up for the Duke of Edinburgh award, and you had to go to that. And honestly, like, this is going to sound really cliche and really fucking stupid, but like, because I was still quite young, I didn't really have anything to do. I didn't really have anywhere to go. I wasn't doing very well in school. I'm not very brainy, and a lot of the pressure on young people is solely on their education. What you're doing socially and what you're doing as a person to grow doesn't really matter when you're that age, according to the powers that be. Your education has to come first because that's the most important. Even though I sit here now with a relatively well-paying job, feeling quite comfortable, and I still have a bullshit education. My education was fucking terrible. So I'm just fucking getting rid of that idea.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a lot that I was like focusing on. Like, it will sound very cliche, but the Duke of Edinburgh straight up like changed my life from that point.
Yeah, I did the Duke of Edinburgh as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got onto it not from stealing from shops. I got onto it like, so when I was in secondary school, my grandparents passed away, and like, it hit me hard as it would when you're a kid, you know. But like, it didn't hit me that hard really, and like, I got sent to like a grief counsellor.
All right.
Like, in school. It was like my RE teacher. She was one of my favourite teachers, Miss McMahon. She was class. She used to be a nun. She was sick.
Wait, did you go to a Catholic school?
Yeah, I went to Catholic school.
Right, okay.
I went to 2 Catholic schools. Not because I'm Catholic, just because they were closer to my house.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I went to this grief council, and like, they were like, so how are you feeling? I was like, aye, alright, like, this is strange that you've taken me out of class, which is sick, but
yeah,
like, to talk about something that I'm actually okay with, like, it sucked, you know, as it does, but I was just like, yeah, whatever. So they sent me on, the first thing they sent me on was like fucking, it was like a boat trip. They sent me sailing. They sent me sailing. It was so weird. So it was on like, it was on like this like sailboat. It like maybe
just boat.
Yeah, it was like 8 people could be on this. So it was the captain, another adult, and then like 6 kids who were going through similar things.
Right, okay.
But at the time I was like a wee fat goth. Like, I was stuck with like BAMs from Clydebank, and I was like, how does this help anything? Like, these cunts are just gonna bully me. Like, this is so crap. But it was a good time, and we ended up like just sailing around the west coast a little bit. We went to Mull, and like we like docked for the night, and we like slept there and stuff. And I was like,
that's fucking sick.
I mean, still miss my granny, but what is the point in this? It's so crap. And then like eventually it moved on to being like you go do the Duke of Edinburgh thing, but we never
Yeah.
we never got to finish it.
Oh,
We never
really?
got to like complete it because the funding ran out for the school.
Yeah. Same thing happened
So,
to us. We did
yeah.
our bronze and our silver, and then the whole thing gets shut down because it was mainly like the funding disappeared, and because the guy who led it was moving up north, and they actually couldn't get anybody else to run ours. It was like the group that we had, we were all fucking assholes, and like we were all quite rambunctious. So I think that's honestly why we didn't get a new leader, because somebody walked in and we're just like, nope, I'm not dealing with these fucking kids.
Yeah, not dealing with
They're
these
fucking-
assholes.
So it did get passed. It was a shame because we were planning on doing a trip to like New Zealand for our
Oh,
gold.
wow.
Like we were going fucking all out. We'd started planning it and stuff. And then it got canned and it kind of fizzled out. It was a shame. It was a shame, but it did definitely, like, I grew a lot of friendships in there. Like, not people that I speak to now, but it was definitely very important for that time in my life where I, like, rightfully so, what they were saying, I could have went down a more darker, weird path and started stealing shit that I shouldn't be and ended up in the wrong crowd. So I do think that kind of like saved me from another life I could have led. And a lot of my fondest... Eh?
A life of crime.
A life of crime. My name would have been known by Scotland Yard. And I do have a lot of very, very fond memories of that time. And I think a lot of people... stealing. I mean, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, the bad shit turned into the good shit.
Yeah.
That's life,
it
man.
Often does.
That is life. Bad shit turns into good shit. I'm still a bad shit, just not as bad as I was when I was younger.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
no,
you won't find me. You won't find me stealing shit from my local here now, because I actually like respect my local shopkeeper here because he's amazing. I love my wee guy that is down the street. This is going to have to be a short episode. I mean, we're at like 45 minutes, so
yeah,
it's
you
a
say
little
short,
bit
like,
shorter.
It's fine, just a wee bit shorter.
A wee bit shorter. Basically, we are doing this completely on a whim. We were planning on doing it at a different time, but the time popped up and we're like, fuck it, let's just do it now because it's easier just now. But Gary didn't charge his fucking laptop, so his laptop is about to die. So this has been a nice 45 minutes. I feel like I spoke the whole 45 minutes, so I apologise.
That's fine by me. It's usually the other way around.
Next week's highlights will literally just be me.
It'll just be you talking shit, but obviously you said you wanted to do like a little challenge for some people.
Oh shit, yes. Thank you for reminding me. I did not write that bit down. Right, so we have done our usual this week and we have updated the Dead End Jams playlist. So there's 10 new songs on there. Gary has added some fucking bangers, man. He put in a fucking Brockhampton song. He put in a fucking... What's the fucking jazzy one you put in?
Stan Getz and João Gilberto.
Yeah.
The girl from
it's so
Impanina. That song's so sad, by the way. Actually listen to the lyrics and you will cry.
No, I'm good. I cry enough. I've added a little bit of some more heavier stuff, and then a random like Russian dark pop band that are fucking. They're not Russian. I can't remember where they're from. Called Molshat Doma. That song fucking slaps. It's so good. You don't understand a word they're saying, but it's great. But I have added a song that is the last song on the playlist just now. It is a song called "More Spell on You" by Eddie Johns. It fucking slaps. It is a great song. But the challenge I'm setting out is the first two listeners that come and tell us or me or Gary, any of us on Instagram. We're also on Twitter. If you just search Dead End Friends Podcast, you'll probably find us. The first two people that come and tell me that song was sampled by an artist and I want to know who the artist is and what the song is. If you can tell me what artist sampled More Spell on You by Eddie Johns and what song it's been sampled on, I will send you some artwork that's sitting in a drawer. I have some artwork that I've been doing the past year when I've been painting shit. I will send them to you free of charge. Just a stupid little challenge. So let us know if you know what the song and what the artist is. Send it to us in a comment or a message or whatever, And if you get it right, you will get some free bullshit artwork.
Hell yeah.
A nice little thing.
I actually have one of your paintings just hanging up on my wall.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I still got it. It's still hanging up.
That's
I don't know where I'm going to put it in a new flat right enough, but it's
fucking
go
dead center in the living room. Pride and joy in the living room. I've got
in the
some
middle of the living room.
Along with your fire pit.
Fire pit.
Right. Well, we've managed a wee 45 minutes. Actually, this might be a nicer wee bite-sized chunk for people. So, if you preferred it only being 45 minutes, let us know. If an hour is too long, then tell us. But if you feel like this one was too short,
we're going to straight up ignore it, and we're going to still do an hour. But tell us what you think. If you just get to 45 minutes and turn off, I don't really care. I was going to slander you the last 15 minutes.
Talk a lot of shit. Well, on that note, on that slandering piece of shit note, this has been episode 14 of Dead End Friend Podcast. Please still keep doing all the things, liking and subscribing and all that stuff. Actually, just tell if you liked anything in this fucking podcast, even one little sentence, go tell somebody about it. Go spread the word. We thank every single person for listening. We really do appreciate it. And you are the reason we will make this grow. I love you. Speak to you next week.
Love you. Bye.